Hey guys, happy Monday. I want to chat with you all about, have you ever wondered what it takes to feel better after an illness or an injury or maybe even a loss? I know, right? I want to just spend just a few minutes chatting about that today. So, um, hi, I'm Amy, for you that may not know me or may only know me on Facebook. And my heart is to help women reach wellness 1 pound, 1 inch, one hot flash if needed, one emotion, and for sure, one step at a time. And what I'm going to be talking to you about today is a quick overview about prepping for wellness, Ningxia Red style. And I'm going to share a little bit about stressors in our lives and the effects they have on our body and what we can do to basically get our body, armor up, if you will. So let me look at my notes here real quick because I just got done making copious notes. Okay, so the question is, have you ever felt like that you will never get over an injury, an illness, or a loss? I have felt that way too. In fact, I'm feeling that way at times, right? For you that may not know me, I suffered a traumatic brain injury a year ago this month, and healing and recovering from a brain injury is takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy for sure. Yeah, sorry, I got a million thoughts running through my mind. But you know what? Isn't it funny how we sometimes ignore the stress how stress can affect our bodies? And it's a very real thing. So in addition to, coping with and dealing with and to wanting to feel better from injury, loss, or illness, there's also the stress that it takes on our bodies. And so what I want us thinking about today is that, knowledge is power. The more we know, the better we can do. And before we cover the 3 points of this video, I want you to make sure you check out the link where many of my clients have shared about how Ningxia Red is working for them. It's one thing for me to be saying Ningxia Red works, but it's very powerful for you to read stories of women who use Ningxia Red and how it is helping them. Okay, so I'm also going to have included a link to an article that I wrote recently with references from WebMD about the causes of stress on our bodies, the causes of stress, the effects of those stresses on our bodies, and then just some statistics. Okay, so some of the causes of stress. I need to flip the page, sorry. And some of them are going to be really, really obvious. Obviously, the death of a loved one, divorce, loss of job, which I know a lot of people are experiencing right now, increase in financial obligation, which is affected by a loss of a job, right? Getting married, moving into a new home, a chronic illness or injury, emotional problems like depression or anxiety, taking care of an elderly or sick family member, and a traumatic injury, a traumatic event. Now, some of those things can be joyous, getting married or moving into a new home, but they are a cause of stress. And how can, not necessarily those that I've listed there, but stresses that we have, how do they affect our physical body? Headaches, upset stomachs, elevated blood pressure, chest pain, problem sleeping. I think sometimes that we will mask our pain with maybe inappropriate ways to reduce stress. Hello. In my article, I mentioned the WebMD talks about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs being used to hopefully relieve stress and bring our bodies back to a relaxed state. I use food, so there's that's what I use to mask pain, and so not proud of it, but I don't want to sound like I'm pointing fingers because I currently am not drinking alcohol because of my brain injury, and nor am I using tobacco or drugs. And so my go-to is food. Now, these all can, instead of having the intention, like our intentions of wanting them to relieve stress or bring our bodies to a relaxed state, they actually can do the opposite. And so There was some statistics that I put in my article, but I'll share them here. 43% of all adults suffer adverse health effects from stress. 75 to 90% of all doctor visits are for stress-related ailments and complaints. Stress can play a part in problems such as headaches, high blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, skin condition, asthma, arthritis, depression, and anxiety. And OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, declared a stress hazard of the workplace. Stress costs American industries more than $300 billion annually. So obviously, how we feel about ourselves, how we bounce back from injury, loss, and illness, it obviously affects our bodies, our minds, our souls, our emotions. It affects us. It affects our families, our loved ones, our friends. It affects our work. I mean, it's a rippling effect, if you will. And so I'm not sharing all this to be gloom and doom. I'm sharing this to say, you know, we can positively have a positive effect on our health, on our wellness. But it can be overwhelming. It's like, where do I start? You know, what does it take? What does it take for me to be healthy? It can be really stressful when you're like, Amy, those stressors that you list, I have half of them. I'm going through half of them. And it's like, where do you begin? For me, Ningxia Red, this is our powerful antioxidant drink. It comes in bottles and these easy to carry with you packets. It is geared for overall wellness. It does have targeted support. Ningxia Red, I became a believer in Ningxia Red back in the spring of 2015, when up until that point I was having symptoms like dizziness and blurred vision. And instead of like treating those systems and not paying attention to the symptoms, that could have taken me down one road. But instead I started drinking Ningxia Red because I saw it was targeted support for blood health and eye health. And within 2 to 3 weeks of drinking 1 to 2 ounces, my blurred vision and dizziness went away, and it's never come back. And that is me getting to the root of the problem and supporting systems instead of chasing symptoms. I hope it's Monday. I hope I said the first part of that correct, but grace upon grace. The idea is that you don't want to chase the symptoms. That is your body telling you something is wrong. Instead, you want to get to the root of the problem and support the systems, which is what I believe Ningxia Red does. Has very targeted support, but it is also designed for overall wellness. So it is a perfect place to start when you're like, I don't even know what to do to start. Helping me, starting out with Ningxia Red is a phenomenal way to get started. And so, you know, the question I'd like you to be thinking about, and if you would like to answer it in the comments, that'd be really, really powerful. In your vulnerability, there is power and healing. Ask me how I know this. So the question is, how are you taking care of you? And do you want to know ways that can help? Do you want to know how you can do better in taking care of you? In the video descriptor, I also included a link to the guide. It is no cost to you. It's a free guide, 5 steps to healthier living. But I've also included a link to the Ningxia Red testimonies, why Ningxia Red is important, and then how to get your Ningxia Red bundle. So there's a lot of resources in this video descriptor. What I would encourage you to do, though, here's your call to action, is get your Ningxia Red bundle and start getting Ningxia Red in your house. And the daily dosage of this is 1 to 6 ounces a day. Sometimes I do take up to 6 ounces, but I usually do at least 2 to 3 ounces every day. And it is worth it. Is it a cost? Yes. Is it important? Yes. Because obviously the effects that stress has on our bodies is real. And so there's also a link to the article that I've been sharing this information from. So as always, if you have questions, I'm here for it. And in the meantime, take care of you.